What's up, everybody? So I'm finally getting a chance to make this video on closing. Well, what this is going to go over is some of the good closes that we have and some of the bad closes we have. So for you guys that are either new into sales or who are trying to get better at your closing ratio or who are just trying to figure out some new techniques, this will be really informative for you. Now, before we go too deep into it, let me also say we're not really going to get into the whole building the rapport process. This is just closing. So we're not going to talk about how to build the rapport with a customer, how to create that relationship. We're not going to go into any of those things because we're going to assume that that's going to be, number one, that you're already doing that. And number two, if you're not already doing that, we'll put a video out about that later. This one's going to be just closings, just about closings. All right. So some of my favorite closings and the ones that I absolutely hate, which is going to be kind of interesting because you guys that watch a lot of these videos, for you guys that watch a lot of videos, you're going to notice some similarities between the ones that I tell you are absolutely awful and the ones that these gurus keep telling everybody they have to do or they have to learn or they have to memorize, because most of the stuff that you guys see on YouTube, most of the stuff that you guys see by these like sales coaches is so bad and so funny that it's not even worth learning. And for example, one of the coaches, right, tells everybody to just keep saying the person's name. For example, so if I'm trying to sell to somebody, named John like me, so John, what do you think about that washing machine, John? Is it good, John? Is it going to fit your house, John? I think it's a good one for you. I think, based on what you need, John, that this particular washing machine is going to fit your house really, really well, John. What do you think, John? Like, he literally tells you to just keep on repeating the name to build rapport, because supposedly the more you say somebody's name, the more rapport you build with them. If I go to buy something and somebody says my name more than like 3 or 4 times, I'm going to be like wondering what in the hell is this guy doing? Like, my brain is going to be shuffling. I'm not going to understand what the hell he's doing. That's not how you build rapport with somebody. You build rapport by talking and then listening and then asking and then responding. It's a back and forth. It's like a tennis match. You send it over the net, they send one back. You put it back over the net, you bring it back. It's a volley, back and forth. Conversation builds relationships, not sneaky tactics of let me say his name 100 times in this sentence and maybe he'll like me. That shit doesn't work. All right, so let's first go over some of the closes that I really let's talk about the ones I don't like, because we'll get that out of the way. We'll knock that out fast. All right, so here's the ones I don't like. Number one, I absolutely hate this close more than any other close there is. I hate this one. It is the constant confirmation close. All right. Constant confirmation close. Now, constant confirmation close, and it's probably known by other names, this is just what I'm calling it, is where you try to build a verbal contract with your buyer, your customer, your client, whatever the case is, through the course of your presentation so that they get used to saying yes to everything. It's a constant confirmation. So, for example, now for the purpose of this video, we're going to use a washing machine because it's the easiest thing to break down into a sales demo back and forth. For you guys who are in real estate like me, some of these closes don't really work because we don't have that kind of rapport with the buyer, but some of them do. You just have to tweak them, and we can go into that stuff in another one. These closes are for people who are actively selling everyday specific products. So for the purpose of this, let's use washing machine. All right, now constant confirmation would be, Mr. Buyer, you said you needed a washing machine that was 2.3 cubic feet. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Excellent. Well, this one's 2.4. Mr. Buyer, you said you need a washing machine that was energy efficient. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Excellent. This one is actually rated green. Mr. Buyer, you said you needed a washing machine that actually had a matching dryer. Is that correct also? Would I be correct in that? Yes, you would, as a matter of fact. Excellent. This one actually has the matching dryer. It's right next to it. Blah, 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 blah. And then another would be, Mr. Buyer, you said you didn't want to spend any more than $500. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Excellent. Well, this one's $495, so we're actually a little bit under that $500. That's okay, though, right? Yeah, I guess that's okay. Excellent. So then let's get this wrapped up. Okay. Now, I'm speaking in generalizations, but the constant confirmation close is where you continually ask them a question that you know they're going to say yes to because of what they've already told you through the course of disclosure. It is really bad, number one, because just because I say, yes, I told you I was looking for a washing machine. Yes, I told you it needed to be 2.3 feet. Yes, I told you it had to be under $500. Yes, I told you it had to have a matching dryer. That doesn't mean that I'm actually going to buy this one. It just means that you are regurgitating back to me what I already told you. So you listened. So I don't like the constant confirmation because it's constantly requiring a yes. And when you go to do a harder close, if the person says, when you say, okay, so then we're ready to get it wrapped up, if they say, well, no, we're not, your only real response is going to be, and what they teach you to say is, well, but we hit all your points and you said yes to all these things. Yeah, exactly. Now, the problem with that is you immediately make it adversarial, right? You take it away from the relationship-based sale and make it adversarial. And that's the last thing you want to do. That will kill your sale 100% of the time. You cannot be an adversary and an advocate at the same time, not in sales. So I hate the constant confirmation close, the ones that are always asking. And there's a couple guys on the internet right now that do real estate stuff that do that all the time. And they have these demo videos of these scripts where they're just constantly regurgitating what the person has already said to them. Well, you said you needed to move within the next 2 weeks. Wouldn't that be correct? Yes. And if I was able to get you blah, blah, blah amount of dollars for your house, would that be good? Yes. And if I was able to help you move to blah, 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 and then it's just, it makes you want to blow your brains out to listen to it. So, and I don't know how anybody can actually fall for that stuff. Like if you're an educated person and someone talks to you like that, they're really talking to you like you're 2 years old. You should be allowed to backhand them, I think. But in any event, so constant confirmation. The other one is the if-then close. All right. So I don't like this one, although I can see in certain situations you may be able to use it. But an if-then close is, if I do this, then you will do that. Okay. So what I'm saying is, let's say you go through, again, using that washing machine as our example, you go through the process, it hits all their needs, hits all their wants, blah, blah, blah. You say to the customer, are you ready to purchase it today? And they say, well, I don't really know. We kind of want to think about it. The if-then close would be something like this. Well, Mr. Buyer, if I were to take $200 off of that washer, then would you feel more comfortable buying it today? And that's an if-then close. If I do X, then you'll do Y. Again, it's not a really great close because it has nothing to do with the relationship, number one. Number two, it can fail. And when it fails, all you've done is turn over your hand because you offer your if and you offer the then. But what if they say no to the then? Like you say, Mr. Buyer, if I were to offer you $200 off, then would you be more comfortable buying that with that $200 off? The buyer can turn around and say, I would be, and I'll keep that in mind for when I come back. All you've done then is told them that you're price flexible. And if your buyer is smart, and today's buyers are very smart, if your buyer is smart, he or she is going to realize that if you can do 2, you can probably do 3. And all you've done now is created, again, a system where you're going to have to keep giving away and giving away and giving away. So your if becomes a lot larger and your then becomes a lot smaller. Right? So the if-then close, I hate it. It's very similar to the giveaway close. Right? The if-then close means that you both create an action to get a reaction. The giveaway close is just straight up giving something away. So again, using our washing machine as our example, I'm selling the washing machine and I say to the buyer, Mr. Buyer, let me throw in, a mat for underneath your machine, and I'll throw in labor and delivery and installation for you if you buy it right now. So that's a giveaway close. And it's really not good to do because it takes no talent. It takes no talent whatsoever to give stuff away. All right, so let's just put that on the table. If that's how you're closing people, you're ultimately, when you get into a more advanced sales level, you're going to fail. That's number one. Number two, all you're doing, again, is the same problem as the if-then. You're turning your hand over. You're telling them that you'll give and give and give and give to try to get the sale. So they're going to keep trying to take and take and take and take. You have to make sales a partnership, not an adversarial system. It's got to be a partnership. You have to build that relationship, build that rapport so that you can draw on it. Okay, so those are the 3 that I really, really hate, and I see them all the time, especially the constant confirmation, the constantly saying somebody's name. There's one guy online, I just can't. Every time I watch him doing sales teaching, I want to smack my head against a wall. And I can't believe people are following him. And dude has a lot of followers for some reason. So that's those things. Now, let's talk about a couple of really good closes. All right, let's talk about some stuff that's valuable. Right now. The assumed close works really, really well because you're drawing on, you're drawing on the relationship that you should have built. You built a rapport. Everything's going well. You've met the customer's needs. You've given them everything they're looking for. Now you want to come to the close, and so you do the assumed close. Using the washing machine as an example, we get to the end and we say to the buyer, Mr. Buyer, let me just check something real quick. Where did you say you lived again? What part of town? You're on the west side? Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. Let me check my book. I pretend like I'm checking my book. I make a phone call. Maybe I phone a friend, chat for a minute or two, come back to the buyer. Mr. Buyer, I checked out our delivery schedule. We're actually going to be in your neighborhood on Thursday. Right around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Does that time work for you, or would you need something a little bit earlier, a little bit later, so we can get you set up for that delivery on that machine? All right? That's an assumed close. You're assuming that your buyer is going to buy it, so you're setting them up for the next step in the process, which would be either delivery installation or the setting up or whatever the case is, but you're assuming they're ready to buy. And you can do that based on the relationship you built, based on the information you've gotten and given, and based on where you are in the process. All right? So assumed closes are really, really good. A hard close. Hard close is a little bit tougher. I don't know how much I love this one, but I don't hate it, right? A hard close is just a hard close. It's look, this is the last one I've got. If you want it, I suggest you take it right now. This is it. Once this one's gone, we're not getting another one. So if you like this one, this is yours. I say we go for it. Let's get you signed up. Let's get you hooked up. All right, that's a hard close. All right, now, a rule with a hard close. If you tell a customer that this is your last anything, it had better be your last anything. You know, don't let a customer leave because they need to think about it and have them come back and a week later you got another one, because that's going to make you a liar and you're going to lose that customer forever. Not to mention they're going to blast you on social media because that's what people do now. So the hard close is good, but it's situational. The direct request closed. If you've done your job, and you've asked the right questions, and you've probed effectively, and you've gotten the information out, the direct request close is, Mr. Buyer, I think we hit all your points pretty well. You know, based on what you were telling me, I think we hit all your points pretty well. Is there anything I might have missed in there? Is there anything that would hold you back from buying this particular washing machine today? Is there anything that you have, any more curiosities? Or is there any question I didn't answer for you? Is there something that you need in order for you to be comfortable making this purchase today? That's a direct request close, right? Now, again, guys, people may call these things different names, and no matter where you look, there's going to be a different name for everything, because all of us that do these kind of videos and that do these articles, we try to call it our own stuff because that makes it ours, but really it's all the same stuff. It's just, certain people have certain angles they like to take. I don't do this stuff I don't charge you guys for this information, so I'm going to give you the straight stuff that actually works. These guys that are teaching you, they need to keep on teaching you. So they start you at the bottom and give you the really junky stuff first, and then they hope you keep on buying more programs, and they'll give you the advanced stuff after you spent like 50 grand because they're insane. So anyway, that was my digression, because if you have information, you should share it. That's my opinion. But anyway, so now the last close that I really, really like, and this one works in anything you sell, in everything you could possibly sell, including real estate. This is it's an advanced close. It's what I call it's my opinion close. Now, I've done everything properly. I've listened to my client. I've given them the information. They've given me the feedback. We've compiled everything effectively. And at the end of the process, I say to them, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, based on everything we've talked about, based on your needs, based on your wants, based on what you're looking for, in my opinion, this is the best machine for you, because it hits all of your categorical needs and it fits every single box that you were looking for. So in my opinion, this is the one you should go for. And I think we should get you set up and get it set up for you right now, because based on what you've told me, there's nothing else that's going to fit as well into what you need. Now, if you've done your job properly, again, when you say the words, in my opinion, it's going to mean something if you've done your job properly. The only way you can get your opinion to matter is if that buyer or that customer or that client buys into the relationship. If they haven't, then your opinion means nothing, because you are nothing to them. You have to create that relationship. You have to create that bond. You have to create that trust. So those are the closes that I like and the closes that I don't like. If you guys have any more that you like, put them down in the comment section. If you have any questions or any comments about the video, please add them in there. I love seeing the comments, even the bad ones. I don't care. It's all valuable information to me. There are probably 1,000 other closes out there. And this isn't to say that those aren't good ones, or that the ones that I just showed you are the only good or only bad ones. There's so many variations. And ultimately, what you need to do if you want to be a great salesperson, if you want to be at the top of your field, is you need to kind of pull from all these different things, figure out what works for you, implement it in a way that works and caters to your style, to your personality, and you'll be a lot more successful. Don't try to mimic what other people do. Take the generalization information, make it your own, and make it great, just like you guys. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, stick to my channels, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, obviously. So any questions, comments, you can always text me. You can always email me. You can even call me. I have my phone number out there. Thank you for watching. Stay great. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll post more stuff later. Sorry about the camera quality. I got a new laptop, and this is the camera on the laptop because my other camera battery's dead. So I want to get this video out. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk soon.